a coral grow out contest thing, and so we're definitely appreciative of that. We'd like to see that in the club. People taking some proactiveness and trying to get some of these things going. It kind of makes it a little easier on the BOD, so that we're not always the ones having to spearhead everything that's going on here. So I am going to put him under the spotlight a little bit here right now because since this is his baby, I'm going to let him go ahead and explain the whole rules of the contest and stuff like that. And if you've got any questions, we can address that, and then we're going to get John up here to give a little bit of information, and then we're going to bring Matt up here for his final presentation. So go ahead, Jason.
All right, so basically we're going to do a coral grow out contest. I've got some softies, I have some LPS and SPS. It's going to run till the Christmas party, so plenty of time to either kill it or grow it, basically. So Tony over at Head and Tails Aquatics was gracious enough to donate an LPS for us, so we have some A-cans courtesy of him. And then Dennis over at FJW donated the SPS colony to do the contest. And then the softies came from my tank, the Purple Hornet Zoas. We had a peppermint shrimp ninja last night, the past couple nights, that have been eating them one at a time. So I'm only down to 5. SPS we have plenty of. There's 15. I cut 15 SPS. I can cut some more if there's definitely interest in more people wanting to be in the contest. And then I have 10 LPS cut and can cut a few more of those too if we do run out and we need to. You can either come down to my place and pick them up, or I can get you somewhere during the week too. So I know I've got a couple people that have already signed up online. I posted a forum for it. So those people definitely have first pick or first grabs at one of the frags. And we'll go from there. Whatever we have left over, we'll take, be more than happy to take, and go from there. The one thing I do want, I didn't have time and my camera disappeared, so I didn't take pictures of each one of the individual frags. If you can, take a picture of the frag when you get it home into your tank, send it to me on the forums, and then on a monthly basis try to take a picture once a month just to kind of document your growth. Then at the Christmas party, we'll bring the frags back. We'll have a panel of judges, 2 or 3 people that are going to look at each one of the pieces, where they originally were from, where they are now, the coloration of them, whatnot, and go from there. And then the winner will have the winner of the contest, whoever we decide wins. You can either keep it for yourself, or you can donate it. All of the frags that don't win are going to be donated to either Moody Gardens, or they're going to be donated to Houston Zoo to be used in their tanks. So, kind of a good initiative too, where you win, you can keep it. If not, it's going to be donated. So, we'll help the locals. Any questions?
Should everybody kind of list what kind of equipment they're using and where they're dosing and stuff to
Absolutely.
kind of get an idea?
If you want to definitely keep track of what you're doing and the success you're seeing, because of course you're going to grow in different conditions. Grow faster in some people's tanks, slower in some people's tanks. The one that grows the fastest and the most colorful, we definitely want to kind of know what they're using and what they're doing in order to get that for everybody. So
it's kind of a good idea to maybe try and use that gallery that we've got on the website there now. We've been working to try and get that going up so everybody can post their own photos and things like that. We'll post event photos and stuff, so that would be a good area to maybe try and post the individual growths on it and stuff like that, and chronicle it.
yeah,
Sorry, what kind of core was the SPS?
I'm not sure. I just know it tables. It's a notorious slow grower and it tables, so kind of a good one for a contest. So, Dennis didn't know what it was. I never could quite figure out what it was. I just know it tables.
It'd be a challenge.
That'd be a challenge for
Everybody's up for a challenge, right?
What kind of water conditions? Direct flow or heavy flow, gentle flow?
From my tank?
Yeah, for where you're growing it.
What I had in my tank as far as the SPS was concerned, I run a bare bottom SPS tank, 2 MP40s on 110 gallon, under 250 watt metal halides, and 2 VHOs. So I think all the SPS frags have completely healed in a week and a half that I cut them. They've already started to encrust. So I did have them in high flow, and over the past week they've been about this far from the top of the water.
Cool.
So they've been at the very top of the tank.
The reason I asked about flow is I can sometimes determine how a coral is gonna, whether it's gonna table or whether it's gonna branch. Because I've had them do both. I got Steve B had a tabling acro in his tank, and in his tank it tabled. As soon as I put it in my tank with lighter flow, or I don't know if it was higher flow or lower flow or whatever, it started branching.
Yeah, and that's some of the stuff that I've noticed with SPS, because I've been raising SPS for 10, 15 years off and on now, in between hurricane killing all my systems. But like my F-flow that I have right now, if you look at it, it almost looks like a sole the way it's growing on the outside because of the flow structure. I don't quite have enough flow to get the branches to fuse back together. So it's kind of doing this number on the edges. A lot of this, like some of my millies I have in my tank, I have them in such high flow, the branches almost as thick as my finger on some of these millies, where they're getting these super, super thick branches. Stuff like the garbanzo that I have in high flow is doing nothing but, for 8 months, started from a 1-inch frag, it's probably about this big now. For 8 months, all it did was put on an encrusting base. For 8 months. And it's in high flow. So I don't know if it's the flow that I have it in, which is probably what I suspect. But over the past 2 months, it's now shot at branches, and the branches are about this big now. So I'm getting good growth out of it. It just took forever to grow straight up. So, and then all the LPS and the softies were kept at the bottom of the tank in moderate to low flow. So, but I've had them in higher flow too, getting the undertow from the vortex. So I've got some of them where the vortex, probably about this high up the middle of the glass, and the softies are probably about this far underneath the vortex, so they're getting all of that undertow from the vortex. So they're getting pretty decent flow there too. And they've been growing fairly well. So if that helps anybody out. Any other questions? So got all the frags here. We can either, I guess we can grab them at the end whenever we're done with the second part of the presentation, or we can hand them out now too.
I think we'd give you a month now if they have their plastic bags for them.
Absolutely.
And then, John, you can go ahead and go through.
Well, if they're gonna do that, you want me to just wait until they're done?
So I got like 15 of them or something, don't you?
Yeah, I've got 15 SPS, 10 LPS, and then some softies too. So if you signed up, you definitely.
Except
Okay, this is Cat Zola.
More LPS?
Yes, I have 10 of them cut. The softie is the purple hornet tail.
This is the SPS?
no, this is the LPS.
Okay, that's A cat right there. Okay, this is Cat's. Whoever, I'm just documenting.
SPS.
LPS.
LPS.
What's your screen name? I want to know. Okay, this is his.
It's just an A can.
They're all the same colony?
Yeah, they're all from the same colony.
Who else? I did the LPS.
You did LPS.
Get those Zolas there for Reggie.
Same.
It was just SPS or LPS too.
They were all
yours?
open this morning.
What's your screen name? Reggie. Reggie. This is Reggie's Zoa.
On the sign-up part, since I didn't look on that list because I'm just doing this. Did Reeftopia, did you have your sign-up for that grow?
I don't know if he did or not.
He's sick, so that's what I'm saying.
I know he
live
does.
close to him.
He does SPS. So
Yeah, and I live close to him, and he did sign up, I'd be glad to take it to him.
yeah,
He's like just a
take
few
one to him
minutes.
because I have some extra anyways.
This for a Reef
And I'm
Topia.
sure he'll want to try it.
Alright.
Okay.
I had a LPS for sure. I'm not sure where you had me on the softies or not.
Somia. This kid is yours.
Now my manager's actually turn off all the pumps and then slowly get them off the surface of the water.
How do you test it? Have you by doing it?
I actually